Deshatari. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We're continuing to read from Canto 8 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Now we have reached chapter 5. Does anyone remember where we are at?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
We had read that Sukdev Goswami is telling King Parikshit that whoever hears the narration about the devotee, about the Lord, can be promoted to the higher planetary systems. And he will never see bad dreams or have bad dreams. And he's he'll not be, he's unaffected by the contamination of Kali Yuga, and he can gain a reputation as a devotee himself. So, like how we heard the pastime of Gajendra Maharaj. So, this will benefit the person who listens to it, and he himself will become a devotee. And Krishna also says that one must get up early morning and remember him, his paraphernalia, his pastimes, the ornaments, everything to do with him, and also about his devotees, his expansion. And also we heard that uh, Gajendra Maharaj's pastime happened in the fourth Manu. There are 14 Manus, and this pastime happened on the fourth Manu, Tamasa Manu. And at the moment in Kali Yuga, this is Kali Yuga, it's the seventh Manu. So, and each Manu has it's 71 times by the four Chaturyug, Satyug, Treta Yug, Dwapar Yug, and Kali Yuga. So 71 times by 4. I think I just remember till there.
Yeah. And now we are coming to fifth Manu.
Now we are
Now,
it. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Now, so Gajendra, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Gajendra was fourth Manu,
Fourth. Yeah.
Tamas.
Yeah. Yeah. Right.
Now is Revat Manu.
Right.
Revat Manu is the fifth Manu. So we're going to continue. Patni Vikuntha Shubhrasya
Patni Vikunta Shubrasya
Vaikunthe Surasattame
Vaikunthe Surasatvi
Vaikuntha
Tayo Swakalaya Jagye
Tayos Kalaya Jagni
Vaikuntho Bhagavan Swayam.
Vaikuntho Bhagavan Swayam.
Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. From the combination of Shubra and his wife, Vaikuntha, there appeared the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vaikuntha, along with demigods, who were his personal plenary expansions. So then now in this fifth Manu, the Lord is coming as Vaikuntha. And at that time, the demigods were his personal expansion. Sometimes when there is no suitable living entity to take the position of demigods, then the Supreme Lord may expand. Vaikuntha kalpito yena
Vaikuntha
Vaikuntha
Kalpito
Kalpito
Yena
Yena
loko loka namaskritah
Loko
Loko Loka Namaskritah
ramaya prarthaya
Ramaya
Ramaya
Yamana
Yamanena
devya tat priya kamyaya.
Devya
Devya
Tatpriyakaham Yaya.
Tatpriyakaham.
Just to please the goddess of fortune, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vaikuntha, at her request, created another Vaikuntha planet, which is worshipped by everyone. So the Lord has come in the incarnation of Vaikuntha, and then he has his consort, Lakshmi Devi. She's requested him to create another planet, Vaikuntha planet. Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur remarks here that this Vaikuntha planet, like Srimad Bhagavatam, appears and is said to be born or created, but both Srimad Bhagavatam and Vaikuntha eternally exist beyond the material universes, which are enveloped by 8 kinds of coverings. As described in the second canto, Lord Brahma saw Vaikuntha before the creation of the universe. Viraraghav Acharya mentions that this Vaikuntha is within the universe. It is situated above the mountain known as Loka Loka. This planet is worshipped by everyone. So here, we are reading that Supreme Lord created another planet, Vaikuntha planet. Prabhupada is giving us commentary of Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur and of Veera Raghavacharya. So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that we feel that okay, here we are hearing Vaikuntha was created and Srimad Bhagavatam also appears. So even though they are inside the material world, they are not material, they are spiritual. The Vaikuntha, like Shweta Dweep, is inside the material world, but it is not material planet, it is spiritual planet. Similarly, Srimad Bhagavatam is pure devotional service. So it's nothing to do with anything material. This is what Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying. And that Vaikuntha, of course, exists eternally. And before Lord Brahma created, he saw Vaikuntha. That's why he says Chintamani Dham, that Krishna is there with millions of goddesses of fortune. In his prayers, he's describing the spiritual world.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
isn't
Krishna.
Vaikuntha planet in the spiritual world,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah. So yes.
Then,
So
because
Vaikuntha.
you said it's in the material. No, it
So
is beyond, right?
yes, it is beyond the material world. So the location. So the Vaikuntha sky is there beyond the material world, right? Now
Right, yeah,
inside the material world also, for example, the Paramatma is there, right?
yeah,
Shirodakshai Vishnu. And
yeah.
he's lying down on the ocean of milk. He's in Shwetadweep. And this Shwetadweep is inside the material world. But it is not material, it is spiritual. That's what we have to understand. That it
Oh,
is a spiritual planet, not material planet. Just like Garbhodakshay Vishnu is entering the material world, but he's not material, he's spiritual. Shirodakshay Vishnu is entering every atom of the universe, but he's not material, he's spiritual. So the Shweta Dweep is there, and that is a spiritual planet.
Hare Krishna Shilpaji. So are they talking about the Prapanchik Vaikuntha that exists in the material world? But what they're trying to say is that it is spiritual, no matter if it is still situated in the material world,
Yeah, that's true. That is what it is.
right?
What is
That's what
Prapanchik?
they're trying
What
to
is,
clarify.
yeah,
It's
but
called
what is
actually, Adi Dagadhar Prabhu said that it's Prapanchik Vaikuntha.
Prapanchik? Yeah, so it's
Yeah,
Vaikuntha.
it's
It's
Vaikuntha, yeah.
Vaikuntha, but
Yeah,
it's inside the material sky, but it is spiritual.
but it's still spiritual. And I think Dhruva Lok is also one of it he mentioned.
That's right.
That is
Polestar,
also, yeah, the pole star, yes, the
Vaikuntha.
Dhruva Lok. It never annihilates, though everything annihilates. So
That's
that
right.
is also a Prapanchik Vaikuntha. Prapanchik is
Yes.
like what it means is like a prapanch karna na, like a reflection of the Vaikuntha, but it is still spiritual. It is not material, though it exists in the material world.
That's right. Although it exists in the
Okay.
material world, it is spiritual.
Wow.
But we
Just like
say,
we,
So,
the
right, that
soul.
one,
Huh?
Shilpa ji, so when we
Uh,
die,
yeah, that's a,
so we
that,
go there. That's what he mentioned. That when a person dies, then he goes to the Prapanchik Vaikuntha, and when he serves and he gets more, like, cleared everything, then he's eligible to go to the Golok for a normal person who has not cleared
but
his all, um, like he's not got purified, complete purification is not done. And like how people say कि वैकुंठ चले गए वो, जब हमारे यहाँ
mm,
कोई मरता है, when people say कि वैकुंठ चले गए, then there are two things. Maybe he goes to the Golok Vrindavan, the spiritual one, but he might also go to the Prapanchik one also. There is possibility.
Jiva Goswami says that when one is purified and one
Hmm.
is ready to enter in Krishna's pastimes,
Hmm.
then he takes birth wherever, in whichever universe or planet Krishna is having pastimes,
Hmm.
and one
Hmm.
will enjoy pastimes with Krishna,
Hmm.
and then from there go to Golok Vrindavan.
Golok Vrindavan. Yes. Okay.
Jiva Goswami says like that. So then one may say,
Okay.
oh, but that is still in the material world. But we have to understand that is
Hmm.
with Krishna personally.
Hmm.
Krishna is there. The idea of the
Hmm.
devotee is to be with Krishna, and wherever Krishna is there, that is spiritual. It's not
Hmm.
material.
Okay.
Mm.
also, like, if one reaches the Vaikuntha planet, will not fall, right?
That's
Down,
right. That's right.
correct?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay,
When one
I'm a
reaches
bit confused.
Vaikuntha.
I thought Vaikuntha planet was always above, like, you know how we reach the Vaikuntha planets, like we've heard, like they
That's
reach the
right.
Vaikuntha. But
That
planets, right? Vaikuntha planets. But here it says one particular planet.
planet. That's right.
Hmm.
Yeah, so in the Vaikuntha sky, there are so many planets where
Yeah,
Krishna's expansions are there. The material
right.
world also, the pole star is a
There
Vaikuntha
is.
planet.
Oh,
That's where
okay.
Shweta Dweep is. That's where Shirodakshay Vishnu is lying down on the ocean of milk.
Okay.
And this planet is a spiritual planet.
Okay. So Shweta Dev is in the material sky.
Sky.
Ah,
But
okay.
it
I thought
is
it was in the
a
lining in
spirit.
between. Okay.
But it is a
I thought it was
spiritual
in
planet.
between the spiritual sky and the
Ah,
material sky. That was
ah.
what, like,
No,
I
that's where
thought.
Lord Shiva stays, in between.
Oh,
That's where Lord Shiva stays, in between he stays. Shweta
okay.
Dweep is, that's how Lord Brahma, whenever there is
Mm-hmm.
a problem, Lord Brahma goes, but many times
Yeah.
he cannot even see Lord Vishnu. They can just hear him
Yeah,
after they've
right.
offered the prayers. So see
Right.
how we can understand that something is in the material world and yet spiritual. We spirit souls, we are souls, right? We are
Yes.
inside the body right now. We are inside
Mm,
this material body, but we don't become the body. We are still spiritual, and the body is material. So if we can try to
mm,
understand this way, that the spiritual is always going to remain spiritual
spiritual. Okay.
wherever it is.
Mm, true.
Does that
Right.
make sense?
Like even Krishna, when he comes, but he doesn't takes the material form. That is not material.
That's
That is
that's right.
spiritual. So that's what
That's
we are
right.
trying to point out here, right?
Yeah,
Right.
that's
Okay.
right. Yeah. So Vrindavan Dham is here, is spiritual actually. We can't see
Right.
it. We are not able to see the Chintamani and not see the Sorabi cows, and we are not able to see the Kalpa Vriksha, the desire wish fulfilling trees. Why? Because our vision is
Vision.
material.
Yeah.
So because of that, we are not able to see. Like, for example, our glasses are dirty, then we cannot see outside clearly. Outside may be very nice scenery, but our glass is so dirty, cannot see. It's covered with dark. So all we'll see is dark only. So the more we clean our consciousness, that's how the pure devotees, they see Vrindavan. Vrindavan everywhere. So anyway, here Prabhupada is also mentioning that that Viraraghav Acharya is one of the acharyas. He's telling us the location of this Vaikuntha planet, and it is above a mountain called Loka. Yeah. So we go on. Tasyanubhava kathito
Tasya anubhava
Tasyanubhava
katito
katito
gunascha paramodaya
gunascha
gunascha
paramodaya
paramodaya
bhauman renun svabhimame
Goman
Bhauman
Renun
renun
Sobhimame
savimame
yo vishnor varnayed gunan.
Yo
Yo
Vishnu
Vishnor
Varnayet
Varnayet
Gunan.
Gunan.
Although the great activities and transcendental qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's various incarnations are wonderfully described, sometimes we are unable to understand them. Yet everything is possible for Lord Vishnu. If one could count the atoms of the universe, then he could count the qualities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But no one can count the atoms of the universe, nor can anyone count the transcendental qualities of the Lord. The Lord's glorious activities referred to in this connection took place after his personal bodyguards Jay and Vijay became Daityas, having been cursed by the great sages Sanatana, Sanat Kumar, and Sanandana. So here Prabhupada is mentioning that the Sukadev Goswami is saying that Lord's activities are glorious, and this is a time just after the cursing. The Jaya Vijaya have been cursed. So Jaya as Hiranyaksha. Okay, so we were always thinking who's Jaya and who's Vijay. So Jaya is Hiranyaksha. And so who was Vijay then?
Hiranya.
Hiranyakashipu.
Yeah.
Hiranyapu, yeah.
Yeah, Hiranyakashipu is Vijay and Jaya is Hiranyaksha. So Hiranyaksha had to fight with Varahadev, and that same Varahadev is mentioned in regard to the Revata millennium. The fighting, however, took place during the reign of the first Manu, Swayambhuva. Therefore, according to some authorities, there are two Varahas. According to others, however, Varaha appeared during the regime of Swayambhuva Manu and stayed in the water until that of Revat Manu. Some may doubt that this could be possible, but the answer is that everything is possible. If one could count the atoms within the universe, one could count the qualities of Lord Vishnu. But the atoms of the universe are impossible for anyone to count, and similarly, no one can count the transcendental qualities of the Lord. So Prabhupada is giving us a little background that Sukadev Goswami is glorifying the Lord, that the Lord is so glorious that one cannot even count his glories. One cannot count the atoms of the universe. And similarly, one cannot count in the sense come to an end. Say, okay, that the Lord has only this many qualities. No, his qualities are unlimited. So the pastime of Varahadev, some acharyas say Varahadev appeared twice because Varahadev appeared in the regime of Swayambhuva Manu, and then he also appeared in Revat Manu. So some say that there are two incarnations of Varahadev, that he appeared in Swayambhuva Manu, Revat Manu. And some say there's only one Varahadev, that Varahadev appeared in Swayambhuva Manu's time. Then he went into the water, right? He dived into the water, the Garbha ocean. And that he came out of the water in Revat Manu's time. So in that connection, one may say, oh, how is it possible? But why not? The Lord can do anything. His qualities are inconceivable. If we can understand that the Lord can do anything, then we will be able to understand. The Lord His qualities are inconceivable. His pastimes are inconceivable. Is that okay? Any
Yes.
comment? Okay. So then we
That
go on.
does so that means what they're trying to say is about the Varahadev. They're trying to explain us, right? Here.
Mm-hmm.
That in
Yeah.
both the Manvantaras he appeared, but then some say that he was there and he stayed there when he came as in the first Manvantara, then he stayed.
Yeah. That's right.
And then so that is what they are talking about, the red Varaha and the white Varaha, right? The
That's
two.
right. Yeah.
Oh,
And
okay.
in
But then
Bhagavatam,
it could be
Sukadev
anything.
Goswami combines both the pastimes. When we heard the pastime
Hmm.
of Radhe,
Yes. Yes.
Sukadev Goswami combines both the pastimes and tells.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Shastascha chakshusha putrash
Shastascha chakshusha putrash
chakshusho nama manu
chakshusho nama vaimanu
puru purusha sudyumna
Puru Purusha Sudyumna
pramukhas chakshushatmajaha.
Pramukashchakshushadmaja Maja.
The son of Chakshu, known as Chakshusha, was the sixth Manu. He had many sons headed by Puru, Purusha, and Sudyumna. So, who was the fifth Manu? The name of the fifth Manu?
Vairata, Vairat,
Raivata. Raivat.
Revat,
Raivat
yeah.
Manu. Yeah, Raivat. So, now the sixth Manu, what's his name?
Chakshusha.
Yeah, Chakshusha is the sixth. Okay. Indro mantra drumastatra
Indro Mantra Drumasthatra
deva apyadayo ganaha
Deva Apyadayo Ganaha
munyastatra vairajan
Munnayastatra Vairajan
havishmad virakadayaha.
Avishmat Virakadayaha.
During the reign of Chakshusha Manu, the king of heaven was known as Mantradruma. Among the demigods were the Apyas, and among the great sages were Havishman and Viraka. So we are seeing that how the management is changing, as the department head changes and the people who are under him also change. So similarly, Manu changes, then all the department heads are changing. Lord Indra is changing, the demigods change, the Saptarishis change. So tatrapi deva sambhutyam
Tatrapi Deva Sambhutyam
virajasya bhavatsutaha
Vairajasyatbhavatsutah
ajito nama bhagavan
Ajito Nama Bhagavan
amshena jagatapatihe.
Amshena Jagatah Patihi.
In the sixth Manvantar millennium, Lord Vishnu, the master of the universe, appeared in his partial expansion. He was begotten by Viraja in the womb of his wife Devasambhuti, and his name was Ajita. So we can see that every Manvantar also the Lord is coming incarnation. Each time he's coming, we heard that in the fifth Manu he came as Vaikuntha, and now in the sixth one his name is Ajita. Payodham yena nirmatya
Payodim Yena Nirmathatya
Suranam sadhita sudha
Suranam Satita Sudha
Brahmamanam Bhasidritaha
Brahmamano Mambasidrita
Kurma Rupena Mandaraha.
Kurma Rupena Mandaraha.
By churning the ocean of milk, Ajita produced nectar for the demigods. In the form of a tortoise, he moved here and there, carrying on his back the great mountain known as Mandara. So the churning of the ocean is happening in the sixth Manvantar of Chakshusha Manu. So the Lord he incarnated. The Lord incarnated as Ajita, and then he is taking the form of a tortoise to be the base for the Mandara mountain. Shri Rajo Vacha
Shri Rajo Vacha
Yatha Bhagavata Brahman
Yatha Bhagavata Brahman
Mathita Shira Sagara
Matitha Shira Sagara
Yad Artham Va Yataschadrim
Yad Artham Va Yataschadrim
Dad Aram Bhucharatmana
Dhataram Pucharatmana
Yatamritam Sure Praptam
Yatham Mritam Sure Praptam
Kim Chanyad Abhavat
Kim Chan Yad Abhavat Tata
Etad Bhagavata Karma
Etad Bhagavata Karma
Vadasva Param Adbhutam.
Vadasva Param Adbhutam.
King Parikshit inquired, O great Brahman, Sukadev Goswami, why and how did Lord Vishnu churn the ocean of milk? For what reason did he stay in the water as a tortoise and hold up Mandara mountain? How did the demigods obtain the nectar? And what other things were produced from the churning of the ocean? Kindly describe all these wonderful activities of the Lord. So Parikshit Maharaj is also, he's inquisitive. He's asking, oh, what happened? Why he took this form? Why the churning happened? So he's not saying, yeah, okay, let it go. No, but he's deeply hearing Bhagavatam. He's so absorbed in Bhagavatam that he wants to know more and more. Vaya sankatya manena
Vaya Sankatya Manena
mahimna satvatam patehe
Mahimna Satvatam Patehe
na natripyati mechittam
Natipyati Me Chittam
suchiram tapatapitam.
Suchiram Stapatapitam.
My heart, which is disturbed by the three miserable conditions of material life, is not yet satiated with hearing you describe the glorious activities of the Lord, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is the master of the devotees. So he's so thirsty to hear. He wants to hear more and more. He has this great eagerness to hear. He's yearning to hear Bhagavatam. Shri Sutta Vacha
Shri Suta Uvacha
Samprishto Bhagavan Evam
Samprishto Bhagavan Evam
Vaipayana Suto Dvijaha
Dvaipayana Suto Dvijaha
Abhinandya Hare Viryam
Abhinandya Harer Viryam
Abhyachastum Prachakrame.
Abhyachastum Prachakrame.
Sri Sutta Goswami said, O learned Brahmanas assembled here at Naimisharanya, when Sukadev Goswami, the son of Dvaipayana, was thus questioned by the king, he congratulated the king and then endeavored to describe further the glories of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So Sukadev Goswami is also congratulating Parikshit Maharaj. He is great eager, we can see that he really wants to hear Bhagavatam. He's completely absorbed in Bhagavatam. He's not saying, okay, yeah, enough, whatever it is. Now let me go do something else. Yeah? He's so attracted by Bhagavatam that he wants to dive deeper and deeper in the nectar of Bhagavatam. And that's why he's even being congratulated by Sukadev Goswami. Shri Shuka Vacha
Shri Shuka Uvacha
Yada Yuddhe Surer Deva
Yada Yuddhe Deva
Bhadyamana Shita Yudhe
Bhattyamana
Mana Sita
Sutayate
Yuddhe
Gata Savo Nipattita
Gata Sevo Nipattita
Nipattita
Notishthiran Smabhurishaha
Nati Siran
Ishtiran
Sma
Sama
Bhurisha
Puri
Yada Durvasa Shapena
Yada Durvasha Shapena
Sendra Lokastrayo Nripa
Sendra Lokastrayo Nipa
Nishrikascha Bhavamastatra
Nishrikascha Bhavashtash Tatra
Neshur Ijyadaya Kriyaha.
Neshur Ijyadaya Priya.
Sukadeva Goswami said, when the asuras, with their serpent weapons, severely attacked the demigods in a fight, many of the demigods fell and lost their lives. Indeed, they could not be revived. And at that time, O king, the demigods had been cursed by Durvasa Muni. The three worlds were poverty stricken, and therefore the ritualistic ceremonies could not be performed. The effects of this were very serious. It is described that while Durvasa Muni was passing on the road, he saw Indra on the back of his elephant and was pleased to offer Indra a garland from his own neck. Indra, however, being too puffed up, took the garland and without respect for Durvasa Muni, he placed it on the trunk of his carrier elephant. The elephant, being an animal, could not understand the value of the garland, and thus the elephant threw the garland between its legs and smashed it. Seeing this insulting behavior, the Rasa Muni immediately cursed Indra to be poverty-stricken, bereft of all material opulence. Thus the demigods, afflicted on one side by the fighting demons and on the other side by the curse of the Rasa Muni, lost all the material opulences in the three worlds. So now we are understanding, like Prabhupada is giving us a background, that why did the Rasa Muni curse Indra? So the Rasamani was passing by, Indra was there on his elephant. The Rasamani gave his own garland to Indra. Indra was a bit proud, He said, oh, all right. But so he took the garland, but he didn't respect it so much. He didn't like smell the flowers of the garland. He didn't smell it, put it around his own neck like prasad. He instead gave it to his elephant. Now, what does the elephant know? He just put it on the ground. He threw it to the ground and he trampled it. He smashed the garland. So the Rasamuni got upset. Hey, what are you doing, So then he cursed him that, okay, may all your riches be gone. Now no more opulence for you. You're being proud because you have so much opulence. So that means you don't know how to handle all this opulence that you have. So better you don't have it. So, better you be poor. Opulence has gone to your head. So the demons also attacked the demigods and they were not able to fight with the demigods. The demons took away all their riches, and so now the demigods have become poor. Okay, so we're going to continue. To be extremely opulent in materialistic advancement is sometimes very risky. The materially opulent person does not care about anyone, and thus he commits offenses to great personalities such as devotees and great saints. This is the way of material opulence. as described by Sukadev Goswami, Dhana Durmadhandha, Dharma, Dhana Durmadhandha. Too much wealth makes one blind. This happens even to Indra in his heavenly kingdom. Or what to speak of others in this material world? When one is materially opulent, he should learn to be sober and well behaved toward Vaishnavas and saintly persons. Otherwise, he will fall down. So, too much wealth may make one too proud, make one too arrogant, so in that way one may commit offenses against the devotees, against the Vaishnavas. And that's why always Krishna says, you have the wealth, you're going to misuse it, you use it in my service. Use it towards Krishna consciousness. Then one can be saved from the pride of opulence. Okay, any comments, questions? If no, then we'll continue with this pastime tomorrow. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Hare Krishna.